Before he was Swami Vivekananda, he was a boy named Narendranath Datta. Born in Calcutta on 12 January 1863, he grew up in a world where old traditions met new Western ideas. His father, Vishwanath Datta, was a successful attorney, a man of logic and reason. He encouraged his son to question everything, to never accept anything blindly. His mother, Bhuvaneswari Devi, was a deeply religious woman, full of stories from the epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. This created a fascinating duality in young Naren's mind. He was both rational and spiritual, a skeptic and a believer all at once. This inner tension would define his entire life's quest. From a young age, Narendranath was a natural leader, full of energy and mischief, yet also deeply contemplative. He would often be found lost in meditation, sometimes imagining himself as Shiva, the great ascetic god. His friends were drawn to his charisma and his sharp intellect. He excelled in his studies, reading widely on Western philosophy, history, and science. He questioned the rituals and dogmas he saw around him, searching for a truth that could satisfy both his heart and his mind. He wanted to experience God directly, not just hear about him in stories or read about him in books. This intense yearning set him apart from others his age. His childhood dreams were not of wealth or worldly success, but of spiritual realization. He formed a society with his friends where they would practice meditation and discuss philosophy. He was fascinated by the idea of renunciation, of giving up the material world for a higher purpose. Yet the logical part of his brain, nurtured by his father and his Western education, demanded proof. He challenged religious leaders and holy men, asking them a simple, direct question: have you seen God? None could give him an answer that satisfied his searching soul. He was left feeling frustrated, caught between his desire to believe and his inability to find a verifiable truth. This period of intense spiritual restlessness was a crucial phase in his development. He was like a vessel being prepared for something profound. His education gave him the language to articulate his thoughts to a global audience, while his spiritual hunger gave him the drive to seek the ultimate reality. The Calcutta of his youth was a vibrant crossroads of culture, a place where the ancient wisdom of India was being debated and re-examined in the light of modern thought. Narendranath was a product of this unique environment, a bridge between two worlds, destined to carry the timeless message of his land to the farthest corners of the earth. The turning point in Narendranath's life came when he heard about a simple temple priest at Dakshinaswar, a man named Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. People spoke of him as a great saint, a man who lived in constant communion with the divine. Filled with his usual skepticism, Naren decided to visit this man and pose his ultimate question. He walked into Ramakrishna's room and, after a brief introduction, bluntly asked, "Sir, have you seen God?" He expected another evasive or philosophical answer. Instead, Ramakrishna looked at him with profound love and simplicity and replied, "Yes, I see him just as I see you here, only in a much more intense sense." This simple, confident declaration struck Narendranath like a bolt of lightning. For the first time, he had met someone who claimed direct experience of the divine. He was not entirely convinced at first. His rational mind fought against it. He observed Ramakrishna closely, testing him, questioning him, and even thinking he might be a madman. But he kept returning to Dakshinaswar, drawn by an invisible force. Ramakrishna, in turn, recognized the immense spiritual potential hidden within this fiery, questioning young man. He saw not a doubter, but a great soul destined to awaken humanity. The Guru's love was unconditional, slowly melting away Naren's resistance. The relationship between Guru and disciple was not one of blind obedience. It was a dynamic process of teaching, testing, and transformation. Ramakrishna never asked Naren to abandon his reason. Instead, he guided him to use that very reason to go beyond its own limits. He taught Naren that God could be realized through many paths and that the ultimate goal was to see the divine in all beings. He slowly tamed Naren's intellectual pride and channeled his restless energy towards a higher purpose. The Guru carefully molded the disciple, preparing him for the great work that lay ahead, a mission Naren himself was not yet aware of. The journey was filled with struggle and doubt. After the sudden death of his father, Narendranath's family was plunged into poverty. He wandered, jobless and desperate, questioning the existence of a compassionate God who would allow his family to suffer so. He even went to Ramakrishna in anger, demanding that his guru pray for his family's financial well-being. Instead, Ramakrishna sent him to the temple to pray for himself. In that moment of profound crisis, Naren found he could not ask for worldly things. He could only ask for knowledge and devotion. This was a pivotal lesson, teaching him to transcend personal suffering for a universal spiritual quest. After Ramakrishna left his physical body in 1886, Narendranath and a small group of fellow disciples took monastic vows, dedicating their lives to realizing the truths taught by their master. Narendranath became Swami Vivekananda, but he was not content to stay in a monastery. A great fire was lit within him, a desire to understand the land of his birth and its people. For several years, he traveled the length and breadth of India as a wandering monk, with nothing but a staff and a begging bowl. He lived with the poor, stayed in the palaces of kings, and met with scholars and saints. This journey, known as the Parivrajaka period, was his true education about India. He saw firsthand the crushing poverty, the social stagnation, and the deep-seated divisions of caste and creed. But he also saw the incredible spiritual resilience of the people, a timeless wisdom that flowed beneath the surface of all the suffering. He realized that India's decline was not due to its religion, but because its great philosophical truths had been locked away from the masses. He felt a deep pain for his countrymen and a burning desire to uplift them, not just spiritually, but also materially and socially. It was during these travels in the southernmost tip of India at Kanyakumari that his mission became clear. Sitting on a rock in the middle of the sea, he meditated for 3 days on the past, present, and future of India. He saw that India had a great gift to offer the world, the spiritual wisdom of Vedanta. He also saw that the West, with its material progress and scientific advancement, could help India overcome its poverty. He envisioned a great exchange, a bridge between the East and the West, where each could give and receive what the other needed. He decided he must go to the West as a messenger of this ancient wisdom. The opportunity came in the form of the 1893 Parliament of Religions in Chicago. It was a monumental undertaking, with funds collected by his disciples and supporters, particularly the Maharaja of Khetri, who gave him the name Vivekananda. He set sail for America. He arrived as an unknown, penniless monk, with no formal invitation and little knowledge of the customs of this new world. He faced numerous challenges, from racial prejudice to financial hardship. Yet his faith in his master and his mission never wavered. He was determined to share the message of Vedanta on this global stage, a message of universal harmony and the divinity of the human soul. On 11th of September 1893, Swami Vivekananda stepped onto the stage at the Parliament of Religions. When he began his address with the simple, heartfelt words, "Sisters and Brothers of America," the entire audience of 7,000 people rose to their feet and applauded for 2 full minutes. In that moment, he was no longer an unknown monk, he was the voice of India. His speech was a revelation. He spoke not of a particular dogma or sect, but of a universal religion that accepted all faiths as true paths to the same goal. He presented the Vedantic ideal of the divine soul, a message of inclusivity and tolerance that was a balm to a world often torn by religious conflict. His core message was one of strength and self-belief. He taught that the greatest sin is to think of yourself as weak. He wanted to awaken the sleeping soul within each individual, reminding them of their inherent divinity. "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached" was his powerful call to action. This was not just a spiritual message, it was a practical philosophy for life. He believed that by realizing our own inner strength, we could overcome any obstacle. He saw service to humanity, especially the poor and downtrodden, as the highest form of worship. To serve man is to serve God, or Shivajnane Jiva Seva. Vivekananda's teachings continue to inspire us because they are timeless and universal. He taught the importance of unity, not uniformity. He encouraged people to hold on to their individuality while respecting the paths of others, like rivers flowing from different sources but all merging into the same great ocean. In a world still grappling with division, prejudice, and conflict, his message of harmony and mutual respect is more relevant than ever. He showed that spirituality is not about escaping the world, but about engaging with it more compassionately and effectively, transforming it for the better. Today, when we face personal challenges, his life teaches us resilience. When we see social injustice, his teachings inspire us to serve. When we feel lost or confused, his words remind us of the infinite strength that lies within our own souls. Swami Vivekananda was more than a monk. He was a builder of nations and a teacher of humanity. He gave Indians a renewed sense of pride in their heritage and presented the profound wisdom of Vedanta to the world in a language it could understand. His life is a testament to the idea that one person, armed with faith and a powerful message, can indeed change the world.